What is going on, everybody? Sorry about the earlier video upload. I don't know what happened. My phone somehow connected, and you're right. It was in the chair because it was in my back pocket. I don't really know what happened there. Welcome to the second channel. Welcome to the DylanTalksTone 2 channel. We kind of go over comments and hang out and do various things like that. We're going to go back through a video that was on the 4th of this month. I was out of town. We went and did a family thing. Met up with some family, had to go to a funeral on Saturday. So that was sort of a bummer, but overall it was a really cool trip. Put about 2,000 miles on the van and did a bunch of running. So it's great. If you've ordered stuff, we are dead on schedule. We are shipping like crazy and we are not behind because I've been gone. Brianna's been helping me out. So it's been really awesome. So don't worry about that. So if you're wondering, if you can order or not because we're in or out of town or whatever, everything is fine. And I think our wait time is like almost nothing. So just FYI there. All right, let's go through this video. I bet you can't tell the difference. We're actually doing a kind of a developmental video with Brianna's new pickup that she's super stoked about. This pickup set, I should say. One of them is basically kind of our DAF, really. We've made some changes to it a little bit, but then the other one is an Alnico 2 version. So we're kind of playing around with those magnet values. So let's go through the comments. One of the things I want to do is get your opinion on where we should put what pickup. And I think most people kind of saw it the same way I did. So I like pickup 1 in the neck and pickup 2 in the bridge, which was Alnico 2 in the neck and Alnico 5 in the bridge. Yeah, pickup 1 was crap in the bridge, better in the neck. Okay, cool. If a floating dog hair got into the wind, would it give it more woof in the bottom end? That's a good question. Do you guys match RPM as well? I have a tachometer on my machine, or do you watch RPM as well? I have a tachometer on my machine and I wind all at a particular RPM and adjust scatter accordingly. So we do. We have, we can control speed and we can put it at whatever RPM we want. We do wind different pickups at different speeds depending on the tension that we want. So one of the things that you'll see is when you wind a pickup that's really long, like let's say a jazz bass pickup, that span of that makes it to where you have to manage the speed versus tension differently than like a humbucker because it's really short and it's small. So yeah, we do watch it, but I don't have a set number all the time, but we do have set numbers for each style of pickup we do. So yeah, it's important because tension is really the biggest thing that, well, it's not the biggest thing, but it's a big thing, especially when you're hand winding, that you really got to watch. Do you ever use A8 or even A9 magnets? We use Alnico 8 magnets a lot. We have our Super 8 humbucker, which is basically our DAF with an Alnico 8 magnet. It is an awesome pickup. I love it in a single hum setup in a Strat, for example. I love it all the time. It's just a little more than a regular PAF. It's really good, but it still maintains that kind of clarity and it's really good. I really like the pickup a lot. I think the A5 was definitely better in the bridge. I preferred it in the neck too. So you could just get a set of our DAFs if that's the case, because that would basically just be an A5 PAF, our version of that, and you could do that. I agree with your placement choices. Cool. I heard it accurately, but I'm not exactly sure how to put it into words, which generally feels like the case with magnets. A2 generally sounds a bit more relaxed, and A5 sounds more immediate. And is this solely down to Gauss reading? Because I don't think A8 sounds the same as ceramic, even though I think they're closer in Gauss. So strength, magnetic strength. Yeah, that's an interesting thing, like Alnico 2 versus Alnico 5. Alnico 8, a lot of it has to do with the feel. It's sort of like playing like a modeling amp, right? Like where you'll have, like a Marshall stack versus a Marshall profile, and from across the room, listening to someone else play it, you might not be able to tell the difference, but as you play, you kind of have that little feel difference sometimes, or you can. Same thing with Alnico magnets. Yeah. A2 better in the neck. Let's see. Okay, A5 is stronger than A2. You have a magnetometer. Okay. A true fair comparison would be setting the pickups at the heights where the string sees the same magnet strength for both Alnico grades. So the A5 would end up being placed further from the strings at the height where the strings see the same magnet strength as with the A2. So what he's saying is offset them so that the strings see the same magnet strength, and it would basically be the same. There is little objective evidence that A2 and A5 sound intrinsically different from each other. They just differ in strength, which means that the same sonic difference can be achieved by changing pickup height with a single magnet grade. So your preferred A2 in the neck and A5 in the bridge is likely the same as A5 in both, but with the neck A5 further from the strings and et cetera, mixing around. Okay, this, I get where you're coming from, but it's wrong. And I'll show you why. It doesn't have anything to do, the grade of the magnet doesn't just affect the strength as it relates to the distance to the strings. Let me grab a pickup and I'll show you. It could be any pickup, it doesn't matter. So we've got the coil here. If we have a stronger, so the shape of the magnetic field around this is basically sort of like a football, okay? Kind of like this. And the stronger the magnet, the bigger the football. As near as makes no difference for our conversation right now. There's more to it than that, but that's for the basics of it. So yes, you're right. It will affect the behavior of the pickup further or closer away from the string. But what it also does that you do not address in your comment, and it's very important, is it changes where in the coil the inductance happens. Because the way pickup works is there is a magnetic field in a coil, and when the string moves within the magnetic field, basically it excites electrons to move back and forth in an AC signal back and forth in the coil. That's called inductance. The effectiveness to do that is your inductance measurement. So you can have higher and lower inductance. Now the inductance in turn will affect the frequency response of the pickup. So if you have a weaker magnet, that football is not only shorter, which affects what you said, the distance, but it's also narrower. And so it affects the strength where the inductance happens within the coil. So it'll happen less towards the outside and more toward the middle with a weaker magnet, and it'll happen out here more. So you'll get more inductance because you'll be basically using more of the coil more strongly. It's hard to, I don't know how to exactly say that, but that's basically what happens. Where in the coil the inductance happens matters. So the factors there, shape of the coil, if it's tall and skinny, short and stout, that all matters, but also the strength of the magnet. Now, a humbucker is different because it's got two, right? And there's a magnet underneath it, and it's more shaped like kind of like this, but that width gets bigger and smaller. It's actually two bumps, kind of like this, and they get bigger and smaller based on the strength of the magnet. So the overall inductance of the entire pickup is affected, not just how the strings react within the top of it. So I see what you're saying, but there's more to it than that. So there you go. Well, that's cool. Thanks for hanging out, you guys. I know this is a bit of a redo, so it might not have sounded as spontaneous as the first time, but at least you can hear this. These were great questions. These were great responses. Thank you so much for your input on thinking about what we're going to do with this first Valkyrie pickup. I think you're going to dig it a lot. We've been playing it a bunch. It's going to make an appearance next week. I think you are going to enjoy. So there you go. We have like I don't know, 400 something subscribers on this channel. I'm not trying to build this into a bajillion subscribers or anything, but it'd be cool to get it to 1,000, which would be great. So thanks for hanging out, everybody. And we'll see you in the next one. Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel also, but go check out Dylan Talks Tone, our main channel.